here's what you're doing right, here's what you're doing wrong, and here's why you're doing those things wrong. That is exactly what I needed. You don't have to be great at marketing. We have people to help you. You don't have to send a million emails through your own emails with your own hands. That is what we're here for. You can see who's opened your stuff. You can see who's clicked on your stuff. You can see how many people have done any of those things. I was having trouble finding clients. I'm a voice actress, so it's kind of difficult to get into the show business. And I had taken classes and for acting, and then also taking classes specifically for marketing as a voice actor. And the acting classes helped, but the marketing classes didn't really. So I felt like running around like a chicken without its head, kinda. So I was Googling, I was like, how do I make this easier? Because I am bad at this part. And I stumbled on Growbots that kind of helps you just automate the email process. And I am so bad at remembering things. I'm also a student, so I don't have that much time to sit here writing 60 emails. When I was doing it before, I was just individually writing emails, and my goal was 25 a day, and that was a lot. I figured that it would be helpful to learn how to use physically Growbots as like a software, but I thought it would be helpful to have somebody sort of walk me through the parts that I'm missing so that this program would work better for me. And I feel like that worked. I feel like Marty was really helpful in steering me towards what exactly I should say in my emails, and that because of the nature of voiceover, or my job, or very specifically my outward marketing or brand, I can be sillier or a little less forcefully professional than I was expecting I had to be. And I think that helped sort of shape the way that I thought about things. She was definitely helpful in the software aspect, but way more helpful, I think, in just telling me here's what you're doing right, here's what you're doing wrong, and here's why you're doing those things wrong, or might be doing those things wrong. And that is exactly what I needed. Every once in a while, for no reason, someone will reply really snarky and just be mean for no reason. And I think Marty had noticed that I had gotten an email like that because we had been in a call, and I was kind of sad. I was just a little down, and she asked me what was wrong. And she just reminded me that this is just how it is. It's not personal. Clearly they don't even know you. It's just not something you even need to worry about. Just let that email sit and don't look at it, and then go and move forward. Don't stress about it. So it really got me down, and it was nice to have Marty remind me that I'm doing what I need to do, and I'm doing what I need to do, and they were just having a day or something. I feel like it definitely gets easier to deal with over time, but I appreciate that Marty was there when, in the moment, in the baby phases of me, trying to work this out. Just having to talk myself up and be like, hey, I do commercial, and I'm actually pretty good at it. Listen to my stuff. Feels unnatural. But Marty sort of helped fill in the holes So she helped me be like, well, you're not bragging, you're just letting people know. And you're not annoying. Some people just don't get the email the first couple of times even. And I was like, okay, well, this is your job. It's your job to do this. So with your professional expertise telling me that, I'm just going to listen to you and let your magic work. And I feel like allowing myself to just kind of give that away made it so that I'm understanding more of that now, like personally. At some point, you just need to start doing stuff. And she's given me a lot of tips and tricks that I just need to try to implement by myself, get some questions piled up. And then like when I'm starting to feel like I need to ask them again, I have the ability to, and that makes me feel better. I feel like I actually have mentors that I can go to at Growbots. I know that I can do that. Like, I know that the course that I took isn't just like a beginner, like you can only do that when you first start off with Growbots. Like, even when we were saying goodbye, Marty was like, at any time you can always just ask somebody for help. Like, you can always like get some help from us. The support team is really helpful if you have something weird going on with your email, or any of the APIs that we have, or if you have any questions. But you can also always request like marketing help from us. Like, that is a service we sell. And I was like, cool. Her telling me that gave me the confidence to feel uncomfortable and do this by myself for a while, which I think is important. It gives me a list of people, and it's like, these are all potential people that you can find. Carefully look through them. It'll be easy to tell whether or not they're what you're looking for or what you're not. And before, I was just Googling. I was just Googling, and that was that wasn't great. I think when just to email, like research and email 25 clients, it took me 10 hours at least. Of that, the email part, I had templates and Gmail set up, so that wasn't terrible, but my emails themselves were bad. So my open rate was terrible. I also like that it schedules your emails for you. So like you can set up like however many people to go into your timeline, but it will properly schedule those people in increments, so it doesn't seem like you're just blasting people with emails. Everything is really visual. You can see who's opened your stuff. You can see who's clicked on your stuff. You can see how many people have done any of those things. The A/B testing was another thing that got me to want to pay for it. I landed one client, but he hired me twice. A client that's in Alaska, and it was a radio commercial twice. And that was a lot of fun. It was my first directed client, where sort of like this, where we're sitting in a call and they're telling me how to record or, say my lines. That had never happened to me before. A lot of my other clients were like Twitter accounts and like really small indie developers for like an animation or a video game. And they're just like, here is all of your lines, say them all at once. We're not going to give you any feedback on it. We're just going to like put that on the internet. So it was fun. I don't think I would have found anybody in Alaska to email because I wasn't even looking in Alaska. So with the wide variety of people that are in the Growbot system, it really does help spread your name around a lot. It didn't seem as hands-on as like Growbots did. Like, I don't think that they had like any of the support services. They might have, and I just didn't dig, but I feel like the fact that it was so upfront and center with Growbots, that there is like You know, you don't have to be great at marketing. We have people to help you. Like, you don't have to send a million emails through your own emails with your own hands. That is what we're here for.